Doctors Bud Bailey and Ray Dolly, would you please come to the podium to share more?
It is my great honor to introduce Dr. David Huang, who is this year's recipient of the I.B. Harrison, M.D. Humanitarian Award. Dr. Huang was born in Taiwan and raised in Plant City, Florida. Dr. Huang received his bachelor's degree from the University of Florida in 1982 and his medical degree in 1985. He completed a rigorous residency in internal medicine at Parkland Memorial Hospital in 1988 and a fellowship in pulmonary medicine and critical care at the University of Florida in 1992. Upon coming to Tallahassee in 1992 and joining the Tallahassee Pulmonary Clinic, he was immediately recognized as an outstanding physician who put excellent patient care first. Dr. Huang was technically superb in pulmonary medicine and critical care, especially with the most challenging patients who other physicians sometimes avoided. Dr. Huang has been faithful in critical care night calls for more than 30 years, even though it was not required. He demonstrated calmness in difficult situations and showed willingness to help beyond expectations. When critical care was obviously futile, he was able to skillfully transition many patients and families to end-of-life care, avoiding unnecessary suffering by practicing ethical medicine. The advance of sleep medicine in Tallahassee is one of his many outstanding accomplishments. Even though there was not an opportunity to complete a sleep medicine fellowship at the University of Florida when he finished the program, Dr. Huang was able to teach himself sleep medicine and passed the American Board of Sleep Medicine exam in 1999. He began the Health South Sleep Disorder Center in 2002, and then the 12-bed Tallahassee Memorial Sleep Center in 2009. He served as medical director and wrote all the initial protocols for both centers. Dr. Huang helped multiple physicians become board certified in sleep medicine, including me, since he provided sample questions from his own experience, which were much more difficult than the American Board of Internal Medicine. Dr. Huang organized multiple sleep symposiums, which brought internationally acclaimed experts to Tallahassee, recruited other physicians to help with sleep patients, and markedly advanced sleep medicine and patient care. Dr. Huang has faithfully volunteered on multiple hospital committees, gave countless informative lectures to physicians, medical students, residents, technicians, and the community. He personifies the best of the medical profession and deserves the I.B. Harrison Humanitarian Award.
That is quite a body of work, David. Richly deserved. Regretfully, and kind of fortunately, I'm old enough to have worked with Dr. I.B. Harrison, and I remember his teaching of the art of medicine. Now I've worked with David for 32 years, and I can vouch that David practiced and still practices the art of medicine that I.B. Harrison be very endeared from, and that's a great compliment. Now, I wanted to compress 32 years, and I've got 2.5 minutes, into 2.5 minutes, and give you a very biased and personalized introduction of David. So I'm going to do that with one rhetorical question and 3 traits that I cherry-picked out of his many, many traits. So the rhetorical question: has anybody in this room had a 10-minute, only 10-minute conversation with David Huang about a topic that he is passionate about. So, that is one of those kind of like a theoretical quantum mechanics equation. It may be theoretically possible, it just hasn't gotten to the real world yet. So, if you want to get in a conversation with Dr. Huang about one of his topics, you need to have your thinking cap on, you need to have your shoes tied and the laces up, and you need to really pay attention because it's going to be just like taking a sip of water from a full open fire hydrant. So if you're prepared, you will get the first paragraph. If you hang on for dear life, you'll get a page. But after that, you're going to either bust the gutter, you're going to be washed down the gutter. So here is a scenario that happens to me. Now, so we're talking about a topic that I know, Humanitarian medicine, something on that, and we'll start engaging. And shortly after we start our conversation, I'll say, okay, well, David, about topic A in paragraph 3, David will pause and kind of cock his head a little bit, kind of forgivingly, and say, but we're on topic D, paragraph 13. And I say, oh. And then the other consequence of that is I have to change the labeling of my topic from I know to I thought I knew. So we're going to pick some characteristics and traits and consistency. By that, I mean, if you have met David Huang, then you have met David Huang. He can compartmentalize topics and scenarios, but when you lift that lid of that compartment, it is the same David Huang character, the same moral compass that points due north under every box. So I don't care if you are a colleague, an associate, an acquaintance, a medical student, a resident, and I don't even care if you're a patient because they're all going to see the real David Huang because there is none. What you see is what you get. Now, the next one would be, I want to talk about is predictability. Now, that's a strange one, but it's it's a very personal one because throughout the 30 years, David and I have been in numerous discussions and meetings, and we voted on lots of things, and we thought about solving problems, and we thought about problems. David and I have always invariably ended up on the same side of the question, on the same vote. Now, I think it's probably David because at home, when I have an opinion or a suggestion, it somehow ends up on the wrong side of the fence. So it has to be David's grace. Now, I've kind of always wondered, why did David and I think so much alike? And so I was gathering my thoughts for this meeting. I had an epiphany. It was like a dope slap. So why do David and I think so much alike and vote always alike? The reason is we're both from the South. I'm from North Carolina, and he's from the South China Sea. That can be the only reason. The only reason. Advocacy. So there is no physician that is a stronger patient advocate than David Huang. He is tenacious. He's a bulldog. And he will go to any sphere to advocate for his patients. Now, that advocacy for the patients then goes up to the advocacy for the medical community, and there his advocacy goes up to the Tallahassee community. My personal observations of advocates is that they fall in two categories. There's one category. The person will go out and identify a problem, either personal experience or somebody tells him, he'll research the project, build up a case, then he'll come to you and present it like this. Wow, this is a terrible, horrible problem, and what are you going to do about it? Now, the second advocate is somebody who identifies the problem most assuredly through personal experience. He kind of researches the problem, and he comes to you and say, boy, you know, this is a pretty twisty little problem. I need you to help me solve it. Well, obviously the latter is David Huang. So if he comes here with a little ball of work to do, and he says, okay, well, I'll help him, but you go off and kind of get your ducks in a row, you come back, David's done 60% of it already. So David is a leader by example. David is a leader by example. Now, and I've had the great fortune of following that lead for 32 years, and I assure you it has made me a better physician and I think a better person. So thank you, David. Come up and get your award. So I'm going to read the award. It says, to David Huang, a exemplary dedication to the honor and noble traditions of the medical profession in our community. Congratulations, David.
Oh my. Thank you, Dr. Paulson, and Bud and Ray. Thank you so much for that warm and amazing introduction. I'm just thrilled. I'd like to thank Capital Medical Society, Tom Block, Rosalie Carlin, and especially Shannon Boyle for all the hard work and making this a special night for honoring myself and Dr. Joe Mazziato. Joe, well done. You're very deserving of the next award. I'm humbled to be held in such high esteem as my predecessors, many of whom are in this room. And as you all know, Ivy Harrison is an icon. I never met him, but I'm quite familiar with all his ideals. I'm going to kind of do this backwards. First, I'd like to thank the joy of my life, my wife Brenda, for her never-ending support. Thank you for helping me be a better person and to putting up with medical talk at the dinner table. And I've lived here in Tallahassee for 32 years. I've been married for 31 years. The only thing that I could have done better is if I had proposed to my wife 1 year earlier. And thank you to my 4 kids. Andrew, my oldest, and his wife Misty are here. My second son, Eric, is unfortunately away. Brian is my third son, and Helen's my daughter. Thank you all for putting up with my speaking. I don't like to speak in sentences. I speak in paragraphs. Thank you for putting up with all my speaking. And thank you, Mom and Dad. My dad is here tonight. Thank you for being such a amazing example, role models, and an amazing example for your 4 children. And also thank you to all my former partners, many of them are sitting right here, and to my current partners. You're my second family, and I truly appreciate all the good times that I've had with you all the things that I learned from all of you, and all the hard work that you all have done for this medical community. Thank you. But life is full of opportunities, and I'm grateful for every single one. Thank you, America, for giving my parents the opportunity to emigrate here, to get their green card, and eventually become citizens of the United States. What's this picture? Put that picture up. What's this picture? Anybody? This is a water buffalo in a rice paddy. Absolutely. So my grandfather told my father to study hard because he told my father, if you don't study hard, you might end up like this boy here, the person who tends to the water buffalo in the rice fields. So my father became the first child in his village in Taiwan to go to college and medical school. If he hadn't studied hard, I might not be here in America. I might be tending to water buffaloes. So thank you, America. I'm also grateful to the University of Florida. In college, I became interested in a topic called, or a field called sociobiology. And in my freshman year, I wrote a paper, a semester paper, that commented on certain traits. Traits like altruism and cheating. These things might be built into our genes. But I wrote in that semester paper, I said, I hope that as humans, we could control our destiny and that the altruism genes could prevail over time. Then after I finished medical school at UF, I went to the big city in Dallas. I bought some cowboy boots and I bought 2 suits at, it was called the Dallas Short Men's Suit Store. I mean, I can't buy shorts that are, I can't buy suits that are short enough for me. And I can still wear those shorts. Those suits. I can still wear those suits. And then I came back to Gainesville, University of Florida, and 2 of my mentors, Jay Block and Eloise Harmon, made a lasting impression on my career. And I'm grateful for their guidance and their guidance in the field of pulmonary and critical care. And my partners, Dan Davis. I've learned so much from you all. Dan told me, take a social history, get to know the person. And that's been very valuable. A few times I got a hot head and he told me, take the high road. And he's right. That's always the right thing to do. Ken Washington showed me what an Apple computer was. And now I have an iPhone and an Apple Watch. And Bud Bailey, you are truly a wonderful friend. I can't say any more than that. And when I moved here, I was kind of naive, and I definitely didn't have I wasn't business savvy at all. Tallahassee Pulmonary Clinic and my partners, they forced me to get disability insurance, health insurance, life insurance, a retirement fund. Oh my God! Thank you, Tallahassee Pulmonary Clinic. I had no clue, but thank you for doing that for me. And I came to Tallahassee ready to conquer the world. I was thinking I'd be an expert on asthma and laser bronchoscopy and video bronchoscopy and cardiopulmonary stress testing. But instead I gravitated towards things like sleep medicine and end-of-life care and anticoagulation issues. All of these things are passions for me, and I love it. And thank you, Tallahassee Memorial Hospital. You are my hospital, okay? And I appreciate being able to work with so many outstanding doctors, nurses, pharmacists, and so many healthcare personnel. I thank all of you for giving me the opportunity to practice medicine and to hone my skills over the years. I love to learn and I love to teach one-on-one, especially patients who want to listen. The whole package. I interview them, I give them lengthy explanations, I give them at least 2 handouts each. I am the king of handouts. I have handouts, am I right? I have handouts on living wills and sleep apnea and restless legs and I have handouts on everything. I even gave my kids a handout when they turned to be a teenager. I gave them handouts too. And I've learned so many things over the years with these handouts. And anyway, I learned that you should treat everybody the same. Whether it be the homeless person, the president, or even Bobby Bowden. I took care of Bobby Bowden. I treat him just like anybody else. I fed him. No, I'm just kidding. And I think another thing is what I learned is care. Believe that you can make a difference. Show that you care. It means the world to patients. Spending an extra 15 minutes today with that patient may give them a better peace of mind, and it may save hours in the future. And for fellow physicians, all of you that are out there, it's easy to burn out. So be kind to yourself. Take time for yourself. Take time to play, to cultivate friends and hobbies. And if you feel overwhelmed, and I guarantee you will at some point in your career, Kaplan Medical Society has an excellent self-care program that was founded by no other than Faisal Manosky. So take advantage of that. And also, I learned to accept praise. I had a hard time accepting praise in the past. Now, somebody would say something to me and thank you, and I would say, oh, don't worry about it. It's no big deal. I didn't know how to accept praise. And so my wife said one time to me, you should accept praise from others graciously, okay? It makes them feel good. So now when a patient or a colleague or anybody says, thank you, I just say, you're welcome. It makes me feel good now too. I kind of fear many things in medicine, but there's three that I fear the most. The waste, the cost, and the suffering. It's estimated that Medicare spends 13% of its budget in the last 1 year of a Medicare patient's life. 13%, the whole budget. I've also found out that the United States is #1 in high tech. And that makes us great, but other countries they laugh at us on how we spend so much of our gross national product on healthcare. Yet our longevity and our overall quality of healthcare and our healthcare outcomes is not the first or second. It's like 13 out of 35 nations that are the industrialized nations. In essence, we have high tech, and we tend to gravitate towards high tech. If a procedure can be done, we tend to perform it. Sometimes I feel like we've become the slave of the technology rather than the master of the technology. I hope we can become all more mindful. It should make us better physicians. In 1998, I was frustrated. I was frustrated in the ICU taking care of patients that were not going to make it and they were dying, and I didn't know what to do. And so one of the TMH administrators recruited me to take part in a program called EPIC. That's EPEC, stands for Education for Physicians on End-of-Life Care. It was right after 9/11. I guess that was 1998. So I think the meeting was in 2001, I'm sorry. 9/11, 2001. I think the meeting was in Chicago, and my wife didn't want me to fly. So Robin Kretschmann and I and her husband, we drove 12 hours to Chicago and back. And we went through this training regarding EPIC. And I came back here, we started teaching others on how to approach end-of-life care. And I always try to strive for two goals when caring for patients. Cure what I can cure, but if I can't cure their illness, I try to help them feel better. And that's the principle of palliative care. Every day, unbeknownst to all doctors here, even the cardiologists, they're practicing palliative care. You put in a stent, that patient's going to feel better. That is palliative care. And so palliative care principles are the ones that every doctor should be equipped with. And so when I can't cure them, and if the patient's near the end, I try to help them die with dignity, to help them avoid unnecessary pain and suffering and distress. And when I come home every night, I sleep well, because I know that I did the best I could for that patient. Also because I sleep well because I'm sleep deprived all the time. For being on call, you know. All right, almost done? All right, only one more paragraph. I want to thank John Thabes, my partner, and George Slade. I don't think George is here, but John Thabes, back in 1999, told me, you should get board certified in sleep medicine. So I said, okay, maybe I'll do that. And then George Slade he helped me understand all the nuances of sleep medicine, because I thought sleep medicine was just sleep apnea, but he showed me that this is sleep medicine. Sleep apnea is only this much. So with his help, I actually got board certified in sleep medicine in 1999, and it was my dream to help create a sleep center that our city could be proud of. And finally, my dream came true 10 years later in 2009 when TMH built a new 12-bed sleep center. And it's been accredited 3 times. I've helped with each one, and now we're going for our 4th one. I'm so proud of our sleep center. I hope everyone realizes that good sleep is important for our well-being, and I've tried to spread this message within our community. And in closing, I'd like to thank all our sponsors tonight. I won't repeat it. I just said there's so many here that helped me personally, and I'm grateful for you all, because without you all, this program would be possible. I want to thank my current partners, Bud, John, Carlos, Albert, Mohamed, Ruby, Sibeli, Tony, and Andrea. I truly enjoy the camaraderie that we share. I value you greatly, because I know when I get old and sick, you'll be there to care for me. Thank you ahead of time. Thank you to my pickleball friends, my tennis friends. See, to Victor, Kevin's not here, but Everett, Terry Lewis, and the late Ray Bellamy. Thank you all for being there for me. And thank you to all my friends. Without you, none of this would be possible or fun. One time somebody asked me, what motivates you? I told them to help somebody and to expect nothing in return. Sometimes I still think I'm that 17-year-old college freshman who believes that we can still control our destiny, that good will overcome evil, and that altruism can exist. Thank you all. Have a great day.